Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Adam's Quest. In the last episode, Daybreak's curse took hold of the safe havens, not only poisoning our food sources, but also sending bearyenas into the shadow of the oak tree too. It would appear as if the bearyena is trying to stop Frostbite, who is not only Daybreak's son, but also one of our only gravediggers left. He came over here at Frostowl's request, so that he could try to put Daybreak's remains to rest. But it seems as if that's not going to happen now. Now these two are going to have to scramble to get rid of the bearyena, and I'm sure that our one and only Oracle is just sick with worry. He's actually the only Oracle left on the island now that Sol has passed away, now that Daylight is gone. So he has a pretty big destiny to fulfill too. And it looks like our bluebird has taken notice. The one bluebird we have on the island, how fitting that it's swooping over his head right now, almost as if it's trying to lead our leaders straight over to the oak tree too. Our ancestors definitely know that they need a bit of help here, but right now it's all going to be up to you three. So I do want Kaduk to scoot ahead if he can. With those big mammoth paws of his after all, he has quite a bit of defense on him. In fact, I don't think the bearyena is even going to be able to land a hit. He has a 3 in defense, and the bearyena has an attack strength of 2, so if it tried to attack Kaduk, it wouldn't be able to truly harm him. That means he would be perfect as a tank, and since he wants to defend Shine anyways, let's have him see if he can position himself as kind of like a barrier between them and the bearyena. We will have these two land in a couple of attacks though, maybe one quick swipe from Frostbite. Then we could have Frostowl scoot into the grasses too and try to do the same. Afterwards though, the two will need to flee away as far as they possibly can. We could perhaps have Frostbite scoop up a couple of these roots, just one more for the road, and then jump way over here next to his mother's remains. I'm not sure if he even realized that his mother had passed. Of course he knows about his father from Frostowl, but Ismy's news is going to be completely new. And I like how our little Dodomingo friend is still watching from afar too. I wonder if this guy is around to just keep track of our children. It would make sense since the Dodomingos love the nest so much. Maybe they're actually going to be our tribe's babysitters. But right now, little guy, you better stay far away from the bearyena or else you are going to be a snack too. Now, the farthest we can get from the bearyena with Frostowl would be way up here. But that is going to separate him from the rest of the tribe. Maybe instead, if we move Kaduk right to the bearyena's side, right in front of him as a mighty tank. I guess all we can do is scoot Frostowl behind him. It's not as far as I would like, but we'll just have to hope that Kaduk can snag the bearyena's attention. And poor Shine, throughout all of this, she must be so confused. So much chaos has just fallen around this tree since she was born. Not only did her mother pass recently, but now with the bearyena involved. I wonder if she's starting to think that she's the cause of this curse. I mean, she hears that word being thrown around so often by the Oracle. Maybe very timidly, she'd scoot over to his side, careful of course not to attract any unwanted attention, and ask him if she's the one who's cursing this land right now, if she needs to leave to banish the curse herself. Now, while Ismy's children might have reason to distrust her, I don't think that Frostowl is going to be the same. In fact, I would hope that he would be able to find a way to soothe her worries, but I suppose we'll have to wait until they have a little bit more energy. So let's scoot on over to Dawnsol next, because she does have that leech on her, and if she's not careful, she's going to attract the piranhas over in the ocean. The thing is, with all the commotion over here, I wonder if she would take notice. Maybe she wants to go charging off into the darkness, but her brother Dusk Soul is going to sense that. He is a grand healer after all, so he's probably noticed that she needs a little bit of help. Maybe he can even smell the bleeding. So let's bring him around the shore, through sickness and all, so he can pick that leech right off of her fur. Of course, that does still leave her bleeding, so she could still potentially attract the piranha's attention. And that means she's going to have to be super careful as she sneaks into the grasses. I wonder if the bearyena would even smell her? I wonder if he's going to notice her old wounds. Well, let's put you into the grasses right here. That way the piranhas won't be able to get to you. And I guess this will be our experiment for the next turn. It's certainly an interesting way for them to meet you, Dawnsoul. I know she's just trying her best to help our tribe, but being reckless is not going to help you survive out here in the mountains. Now with the Dusk Soul back on the shore, that means he's left the medicine and the food as well, in the capable paws of our little platypus beaks. This baby Chestnut is a little bit too young to be without his mother protecting him, especially with the bluebird in our skies, but we want to make sure that he doesn't scoop away our food either. So Gold, if you could scoot over here, you'll still be able to take your medicine on this turn. Probably with some instructions from Dusk Soul. I'm sure he left him with some sort of instruction at least. And on the next turn, we'll have you go ahead and scoop up that meat for your little brother. In fact, you're going to have to do it quickly. Trinket is just about to pass away. I suppose all we can have her do is scoot in between them, maybe pack away that nest. It was a bit of a strange nest for her. It wasn't made out of the same algae material that she's so used to from the sea, and I feel like that did actually contribute to Chestnut's unique looks. He is definitely blessed by the goddess of war, with those dark ram horns, and of course the panda patterns too. He's not quite the creature of the sea that we expect from most of her family, so it'll be interesting to see how his story develops too. Now next we have our leaders, our bluebird leader who has just run into our friendly bearyena again. I'm wondering if perhaps he smelled the meat out here, the same stuff that Sunflower caught for Silame. Maybe he was nosing around to see if he could grab a little morsel. Since Aura has been so kind to him, he must have gotten too friendly for his own good. Sunflower and Silame, after all, they share no love for the bearyenas. So I would imagine seeing this creature stumble out from the darkness would only shock them. Luckily, Aura is taking notice, so maybe she would swoop in before these two can land a hit and tell them to leave her bearyena friend alone. It has to be confusing for them too. I mean, Aura is literally feeding this bearyena straight from their own stores. She's essentially using their meager resources to feed the enemy. So I think that's why this is so shocking to our bluebird leader. Of course, Silame would feel like the tribe comes first, not the hungry jaws of some strange bearyena child. So that's why these two are clashing right now, and it's kind of funny too that they have such opposing roles. Aura with her purse now, and Silame with her poison fangs. One heals and the other destroys. And yet, since they both have the stripes, they also bear some resemblance to Adam's pride. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a rift between our families starting now too. But I suppose Silame and Sunflower will leave the bearyena alone, as long as she promises to keep him away from their food, of course. And also maybe keep him away from their babies. I think it's quite likely that these two will probably start a family together, so let's bring them right over here next to the stream, where Sunflower will have plenty of punnies to capture for his love. There is no shortage of food up here in the highest peaks. That's something that our little water-breathing babies have learned quite quickly. Doubloon is actually searching for the rare clown koi to bring back to his love too. We know that it went down here somewhere, but we haven't seen it in quite some time. Maybe if he jumps on top of the stump? Yes, it looks like it may have passed away down here. Excellent, Doubloon. So you can scoop that up on the next turn and start making your journey back toward Marigold. Though what he doesn't know is that Marigold and his brother Mimic are getting very, very close. He's taken up his brother's position in their little mountain duet, and it has certainly impressed Marigold as intended. So I wonder if these two might even consider this to be a good place to start their own little family. This was about where we intended for our water babies to settle down, right in between both of the streams. So I think Doubloon is going to be quite shocked to see that his hopes and dreams of starting a family with Mary are crumbling while he's away. To be fair, I don't think Mimic really knew how much he liked Mary. It's not as though they all spent much time together, and Marigold just can't resist our little pirates. So let's see if we can set up their mutation menus for even more water-breathing creatures in the future. Of course, we'll have to place the gills and 2 marigolds for a slot. And then I guess we should probably try to put the ram horns on them too. That way they'll have a little extra strength on them, just in case any dangers come their way. Especially with the Daybreak's curse haunting this island, I suppose any betrayal of the heart would likely draw his attention. So go ahead and breed with Mary, and then I suppose we could have her go to this nest? Or maybe we should just have her set up her nest right here. To be honest, with the way that these two have been singing from these stumps for so long now, I feel like this would be the best place for them to set up their family. And yet again, it looks like the bunnies are quite interested in your songs, though it must be because the mimic is just so good at calling to the bunnies himself. So I think that should be the last of our turns. And now it's time for us to head back to the bearyena to see where it's going to go next. Oh, right after you again, Frost Owl. That's what I was afraid of. Thankfully, with his big body, he was able to absorb some of that damage. But we are going to have to get rid of you for sure. 5 days remaining on his lifespan. Well, I suppose you could just take him down with one last swipe. That would be a good way to show that you're not afraid of this curse too, despite what you might feel deep down in your antennas. I wonder if his visions would even be clouded beneath the safe haven. Maybe his dreams are all dark and muddy. It's making him nervous about what might be in our tribe's future. But he doesn't want Shine to know, so he's going to use his first turn to swipe at the bearyena and take it down once and for all. Just to prove to her that this curse can be defeated, and it doesn't mean that she has to leave the tribe in order to do so. So go ahead and gather up all of that meat to share with her, and it looks like she can even help out too. She can swipe up the bunny, gather up the meat for us as well, and you guys even have a couple of little berries to share on the side. See, not all of the food has been tainted by Daybreak. Frostbite though, he's getting a first-hand look at the food that has been poisoned. So maybe we should have him clear out some of the grasses around here. It looks like he even has some roots dig up right next to it. Maybe he's hoping that this will help purify those berries, performing some sort of a ritual to make them safe again. For that matter, it's a pretty good place for him to bury his mother too, so at least we know that Izmi's soul will be safe. Now I swear I'm hearing like shells being picked up somewhere. Do you think there's a wanderer out here? Let's sniff around and listen too. No, I don't see anybody who we might need to invite, but I swear there has to be somebody stealing our food, because I definitely hear somebody scooting around in the ocean. Maybe that's something you're going to have to investigate, Dusk Soul. He's the closest to the water right now, and he's not distracted by his wounds, of course. I wonder if Kaduk would be the one to smell Dawn Soul. He is on high alert right now anyways, so let's scoot him on down to our side. Probably just his attempt to make sure that nobody else is invading their land, but he's going to be able to tell quite quickly that she just needs a little bit of help. So go ahead and lick her wounds for her, clearing up that injury once and for all, and I'm sure she will be very grateful for your help. In fact, she might even be a little bit curious. It's not as though many of our creatures have ever seen such grand paws before. Maybe she'll spend a little bit of time out here getting to know you. We will have to move you a bit farther away though, because we don't want you to spread your sickness, of course. I'm sure that her little brother would not be too happy if he heard that you got her sick. Not after he just fixed her whole leech debacle. Seriously though, every single time we move, I swear I hear somebody try to pick up a shell. There has to be somebody out here. Well, Dusk, why don't you go ahead and explore the oceans then? I mean, granted, I don't want you to get too far away from the babies, and oh my goodness, Chestnut, I almost forgot about you. Come on over here next to your brother so you guys can split that meat, and then I guess we'll have you clear out some of the grasses. Yeah, I just heard that kind of like squishy leech sound, but nobody picked up a leech. I think you hear that too when creatures search for fish or something. So come on into the ocean. Sniff around for us and see if you can hear anything out here. No, still nothing yet. Oh, poor Dusk, you must feel like you're chasing ghosts. Well, if there is anybody else wandering around this mountain, I suppose this would be a good opportunity for Mimic to attract them to their concert. Oh, but look at their baby. Oh my gosh, he almost looks just like Doubloon. Well, that's a little bit awkward. I mean, granted, his mask is a bit different. In fact, it almost reminds me of Tavon's. Is that the same mask that Tavon had? Let's see if we can compare them. I guess it is a little bit different. In fact, that stripe going up their leg is on the opposite side. It sure is fitting that he looks so much like his uncle, though. I suppose he could even pass as one of his children. Maybe if Mary starts to regret her decision to start a family with Mimic, that would be her way of getting out of this without Doubloon knowing. So maybe to dip our toes back into their Halloween roots, we'll name this baby spell, kind of like a magical spell, a witch's spell of some sort, to show the love-struck spell that Marigold feels she's been under. Now, whether or not she regrets her choices, I feel like now would be a good time for her to belt out her song again, just to see if maybe we can attract whoever is making all of that noise out there. Somebody is stealing our food and I have no idea who it is. They still haven't moved into our line of sight yet. I mean, it's not the bunnies, right? The bunnies only steal the berries, and I know that little squeaky sound they make when they get their hands on them. It couldn't be the Dodomingo, could it? Do they go after acorns? I don't think so. I've never seen a Dodomingo steal our food before. I don't think it's our friendly bearyena either. In fact, it seems as if he's taken our leader's words to heart, and he's not going to go after their food anymore. So Sunflower is free to pick up the meat that he caught, and we could have Silame make her way straight over to this nest. It's on one of the grasslands tiles too, so she should be much, much warmer here. As for their mutation menus, I think it goes without saying, we'll definitely want to put these stripes into Sunflower's first slot. That's one tradition that is going to be very, very strong in this line of the family. We'll go ahead and place the ram horns into his second slot. That way we'll hopefully keep her crown of ram horns on their babies, just for that extra boost of strength. Though if all goes well, hopefully we'll see the big body on their babies instead of the water body or the spiky body. I'm not really sure which one is the most dominant. I'm assuming the spiky body would probably override the big body, but I guess as long as we have it in their genetics, it will help us out in the future. We just don't have it available to use in our mutation menus yet, and I think we still do have quite a bit of time in this cold climate to spend before we unlock it. Yet there's the big body. 50 days in a cold climate to unlock the big body, though we're kind of just around the corner for the heat body. So maybe Melody's blessings can come back for Adam's tribe too. But let's go ahead and try to fix the eyesight situation. She does have the blindness in her inactive traits after all, and then that fertility too. I think most of her rotten genes probably come from her mother's side of the family, because unfortunately she did not have the best inactive traits. But go ahead and breed with Sunflower, and then we'll have him clear out some of the grass around you. That way you two will have plenty of room to raise your future babies. Now, Doubloon. I know you had that clown koi to scoop up. Definitely go ahead and grab that just in case. Oh, I think you may have picked up some fish instead. The clown koi is still down there. There we go. Go ahead and pick up the dead clown koi for us. There must have been a swarm of fish right on top of it that I just couldn't see. Well, I guess that's good for you, Mimic. It gives you an extra day to spend with marigolds. I think he's starting to get curious about all of these sounds too, though. That's something that would really pique his interest. So let's have him start crawling his way into the grasses. We'll see if maybe he can discover who's making all of this noise out here. Maybe it's even on the other side of the island. This is the only side that we haven't explored yet, so I guess if they would be anywhere, it probably would be out in the dark. Fingers crossed it's not going to just be like a rogue male or something, because that would be a huge, huge bummer. Now, Aura, your friendly bearyena is all grown up now? And doesn't he look majestic? You've done an excellent job feeding him, that's for sure. So I don't think she's going to leave his side anytime soon. In fact, maybe we could bring her over here to scoop up some of these little flowers. Then we can scoot her right back to his side again. I can definitely see her decorating all of that massive fluff with the flowers of the mountains. It would be a good way for her to help our tribe tell the bearyenas apart. The one with the flower crown obviously means no harm. Right now though, it looks like we're ready to skip the day again. So let's go back to our bluebird leader this time and see what the next generation of bluebird children is going to look like. Oh, look at this little baby. Oh my gosh, this spiky little baby. He actually does have the spiky body. Yeah, I'm not too surprised to see that. But with the fangs and the markings that he's wearing too, he is one prickly little individual. Nuke here. You are going to be an interesting one for us to follow for sure. And he finally has the home island gene again. Oh, the home island gene is finally back upon Adam's family. You must be overjoyed, Silame. I wonder if that's something that she can even sense. Well, let's have her scoot on over here, because I want her to be nice and toasty warm. It looked like she was still struggling a little bit out in the colds. Maybe it's the chill of the mountain air hitting her from the side, so she needs to stay behind Sunflower to keep warm. Now off you go, Mimic. Deeper and deeper into the grasses. Only to uncover yet more stumps for you to sing on? Well, I suppose this would be a good place for you to rest then. You can sit up here with plenty of bunnies skittering around your feet, and you can use this place to call out again for whoever is making all of that noise out in the darkness. We'll have you stay there for a little while, giving your brother time to return to his mate's side. I wonder if she would even sing out to him too. We'll have her maybe scoot to the other stump this time and call out for her true love once more. And oh, how surprised he will be to find this little bundle in the nest. Given that he was too young to remember too much about his real father, I wonder if he would even accept doubloon without any question. I don't think there's any reason for our tribe to believe that she's lying, and unless Daybreak gets involved, or unless a Mimic comes back, if perhaps his mission is unsuccessful. Oh, there you are! We did have a wanderer out here, oh my gosh! And she has the spiky body too. Oh, aren't you adorable? Who can we bring into the grasses to go meet her though? Maybe Sunflower could go investigate? He's probably on high alert anyways because he wants to make sure that his baby is going to be safe. Oh, but please don't run away on us. Let's bring him over here. That way she shouldn't have anywhere else to go. Yes, she has been fishing in here. She's probably been struggling to pick up the fish in the stream. Well, Doubloon, you might have to show her a thing or two. Anna Reem, and she's very, very cold. Oh, no wonder she isn't doing much moving around. She is beautiful, though. Look at those rosy ram horns and the spikes, and those tiny little flower petals on her gray fur. Oh, you are so, so pretty. Let's invite you right to the tribe. That way you can warm up with all of our sunny tribe mates. And let's take a closer look at your model, too. Oh, she is seriously gorgeous. Anna Reem. Are you perhaps another gift from Animeme? I mean, that is a very similar name, so it has to make you wonder. Maybe Animeme has gotten a little bit worried about the state of our tribe, what with her bearyenas being used and all, but it looks like Aura has her own problems to deal with. I guess you have more food than you even know what to do with out here now. Maybe this is a good place for you to settle down with your bearyena friend. And something tells me that that leech might just be you, Desk Soul. Oh, how the tables have turned. You were so upset at your big sister for picking up that leech, and yet here you are with a leech of your own. So let's bring you straight over to the kids again. They could probably use some purring magic anyways. These poor little things, they've been left without a healer for so long, and of course their mother has passed away too. Actually, we're going to have to get a gravedigger out here to put her to rest as well. Poor Trinket deserves a good proper burial, despite how distracted Frostbite might be. Maybe we could even bury her out at sea? I know she didn't pass beneath the waves, but I feel like that would be pretty fitting. So after we have Gold go ahead and pick off the leech, we'll have Dusk Soul purr for them both, and they can go out searching for some good place to bury their mother. And I think you may have found one already. Oh, excellent gold. Go ahead and dig up those worms, and then maybe you can even show Chestnut how it's done. Dusk is going to keep a very close eye on you, of course. We'll have him open up that gateway, just in case any more leeches come out from the ocean. I'd imagine there must be quite a few swimming around out there, since we haven't spent too much time in the ocean since landing. Now, all the drama surrounding our water babies and the ghost of the mountains may have distracted us this time, but in the next episode, we are really going to have to buckle down on this cursed situation. Now that Shine is all grown up too, she can contribute a little bit more to this mission to purify the safe haven, and I'm sure that Frost Howl would be very proud of her for that. I wouldn't be surprised if there's even a little bit of a warmth blooming between them. So maybe if the Dodomingo lets us, we could think about using that nest beneath the tree so our Oracle family can finally start to grow again. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!